How's it going, everyone? This is Risked Evil here. Today we're going to be reviewing a diamond game. One of my friends are playing Psylocke, and there was a BP on the enemy team. We're going to take a look on how to play against that. So, I'm going to real quick go ahead and pull up the game. We're going to be focusing on DPS fundamentals, so this is going to apply to almost every DPS in the game. On convoy maps, on attack, you want to be getting kills, and on defense, your job is to defend and not die. You have to minimize your deaths. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look here. Here we're starting on a nice angle. This angle prevents flankers. You can contest flankers here. This is great.
I love mind games.
So here we get a pick on one, then we get out. This is great.
Look who's here.
I'm gonna be lowering the volume a little bit. It's kind of a little bit too loud here. We're gonna continue. Okay, so here we're pressuring people from an off angle, which is great. A lot of pressure being applied here. We get out. It's too dangerous. And here we see BP, right? So our job against divers is to contest them on the angle before they dive, especially BP. Now, when we're against BP, if we decide to peel only when he goes in, that is way too late because he can get a pick off as soon as he goes in, and then you're going to be left wondering, did I peel correctly? The answer is no if you did not contest him on his angle. So here we see Psylocke contesting the BP on his angle, which is great. Just a lot of downtime here. We want to keep shooting, right? Like one fundamental thing of DPS is you want to keep shooting. This is what we call always shooting, okay? Uptime. This gives us uptime, right? And uptime equals damage and ult, right? You get your ult faster. A good Psylocke player would already be a lot more proactive in the sense that they would be shooting a lot, getting their ult way faster, right? Should not be on 41%. Like by now, a good Psylocke would be around 60, right? Just the little things, guys. Like ult farming is very, very important because this game is kind of dictated on who farms ults faster, and especially as Psylocke, where your ult is really, really strong, you want to make sure you farm it as fast as possible without dying, right? So let's continue this review here. Contesting BP on the angle, which is really, really good. He gets healed, so we have to get out. Great. Our cloak did die, and our Thor did die. Now, a fundamental thing in this game. If we're down 2, right? Full reset. We want a full reset. What does that mean? We want to completely reset. This means going back and sometimes even to your spawn to avoid getting staggered. Now, what is a stagger? A stagger is when people die in a delayed fashion where you keep wasting time because you're taking a lot of time to get back as a whole team. Okay? So let's continue this and see how it goes.
Step aside.
Now, as you can see, our Psylocke here did not fully reset. And this Emma didn't as well, right? And the moment they were trying to reset, it was already too late. We see down 2, we reset immediately. Immediately, okay?
Better stop that vehicle.
Here they get a lucky pick. In another game, they will be punished for what they just did, right? This is a diamond level game. And somehow Emma does get a pick. We try to contest BP here on the angle, but unfortunately, he does manage to get a kill. That is what it is.
You're mine. Out of sight.
Another concept is to always play with cover. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, instead of being where Psylocke was, We could have played this pillar, right? We could have some cover here, shoot from here, and we can always retreat back here, right? Always have an escape route. The fact that we went over here is way too risky because we don't really have any cover and we're forced to use a lot of cooldowns to get out, right? And normally as Psylocke, what I would say is you want to try to make plays when you have all your cooldowns up. If you don't, you kind of just want to keep poking until your cooldowns are back. And when I say keep poking, I mean from an off angle with cover, right? So a nice example would be like this pillar right here, just poke right here, right? Just keep poking, poking, poking. Get your cooldowns back, and then you can look to make a play on the back line, right? So the concept of off angling is crucial to any DPS. Like people think, like even Punisher, Bucky, any DPS, right? You never want to be in main. You always want to be in an off angle to your tank. And this is what many people get wrong: is your tank dictates the game. Now, what does that mean? Dictates the game, meaning the position of your tank is what you play off. So, let's say your tank is here. You cannot play here. It is way, way too risky, and you're isolated here, right? Now, granted, some characters can do that, like Psylocke, because she has a lot of mobility to get out. But most of the time, let's say you're playing like Punisher, like an off angle here, it would be somewhere here, right? This would be an off angle because you're left or right of the tank in a 45-degree angle. Other characters like Hela and Phoenix can be a 90-degree angle because they have the mobility to get out. Another thing to keep in mind is always be in your healer's LOS. Now, what does that mean? You have to be in your healer's line of sight so that if things go wrong, they can help you. You do not want to be isolated on an off angle. Okay? Let's take a look here. Okay, we have our ult here.
There's still a chance to stop
Now,
them.
what makes a good ult? Okay, there's three things, right? Number one, enemy location. What does this mean? Can the enemy's position or terrain let them kite my ultimate? If not, that's in our favor. Now, what does that actually mean? It means, like, let's say you're playing Punisher and you ult, but they can use the terrain for cover or actually just completely avoid it by, kiting backwards. Then that is a bad ult. You do not want to ult, right? Second is team location. Now, if my ultimate connects, do I have a team that can actually support me while I'm ulting? Do I have follow-up? Right? This is important. And number three is cooldowns, right? If they have things like, Loki lamp or like a Magneto, you know, you need to start baiting out these things before using your ultimate to gain the maximum value of your ultimate. And number four is safety. What does safety mean? If you use your ultimate and you get one kill and then you die, the value is lost. Why? Because the goal is an advantage, not a reset. If you reset it back to a 5v5, you're pretty much depending on your team to win the fight, which is incorrect. You want to solo carry games yourself, right? You don't want to depend on your team. Okay, so let's continue this review. Okay, we ult here, get a nice kill on the Atom, which is great. We get a nice kill on the Strange. Fortunately, our healers die here. BP dives them.
They are many, but we will prevail.
I would say this is bad because to the previous rule, when we were down 2, we really want to reset, right? This is a very, very avoidable death. This is just going to stagger you, which is just really, really bad, right? Especially on defense. Your goal is not to die, right? Skip forward here a little bit.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
Okay. A general rule of thumb against divers is if you don't see them, generally this means they're in an angle where they're ready to dive, right? So if you don't see a diver, you need to be aware and actually be proactive in figuring out what type of angle they're in and contest them there before the dive, right? Let's see what the Psylocke does. Okay, so she sees the red beacon. The beacon getting destroyed. Trying to contest BP here, which is great. I really like that. This is really, really good.
Out of sight. Step aside.
We could have used her dash a little earlier to kill him, to secure the kill, instead of letting him go for the health pack. Still contesting BP, which is great.
Sayonara.
We have another dash that we are not using here. Great, get the kill on BP. Now, when your support ults, this is your time to play very, very aggressive within the ult, right? You don't want to be sitting here and poking, like poking from here, because that's not a lot of value compared to if you were actually in your Rocket's ult, killing this Hulk, killing this Wanda, right? Doing a lot of damage from the damage boost. But here we actually just sit and poke from an off angle, doing barely anything, which is really bad, right?
I love mind games.
Always, always be aggressive when you have healer supports ongoing.
My life force is exposed.
I don't think I'm going to make this video super long. I just want to introduce some concepts to DPS fundamentals.
The enemy has arrived. Farewell.
Okay, we are low here, contesting BP, and we actually die here.
This will
Right.
confuse them.
Looks like we're about to die. No, we don't. Okay, great. Going back to our supports for heals. Great.
Out of sight.
We have our ult.
By the eye of Agamotto.
This is a great ult. We get 2 picks here, and we die to BP.
Tremble before battle.
This was still worth it because you killed 2 people before dying, right? So this is not as bad. But generally, you do not want to die, right? So a lot of people do this mistake where, let's go back here. We have 1 dash, right? 1 dash, and we're ulting. This is bad. Why? Because as soon as we commit, we're not going to have another shift to get out, which is exactly what happened, and that's why we died, right? Safety, it goes back to safety. If I trade my life for kills, the value might be lost. I mean, unless, right, you kill 2 people, preferably supports, then it's not bad, okay? It's still good. But here we kill 1 support, I think, and we kill 1 DPS, which is not enough to win the fight. Invis ults here,
Story ends.
so it's not enough, and we die, right?
Tremble before
Just you
battle.
trying to use our cooldowns more effectively is all it is, right?
My hunt can step aside. My
Yep,
hunt
so here we're back.
continues. Step aside. Look who's here.
Also, I did forget to mention that if we're down 2, we reset, right? But like, here's the thing: if they're down 2, we chase. We chase and finish them off. We want to stagger them when they're down 2. We do not want to let them go back to base freely, right? We want to contest them and make sure we chase them down. The key here is not to die while doing so, right? Do not be over aggressive to the point where you will die, right? You want to chase them, but if you feel like you are going to die, it is not worth to keep chasing, okay? So we're poking here, we're poking here. We did not need to dash here.
Out of sight. What a difference.
Leaves us with 1 dash, and we die because of it. Oh, we nearly died because of it.
Lovely.
There's no need to use dash here. Okay, so we know BP's on the left here. And we let BP dive, right? Hulk cannot kill our backline. Like, it's very hard for Hulk to actually delete them. So here, the best play was to actually contest the BP sitting over here before he dives, right? This is why we actually, our support dies, right? This is something DPSs need to do. These are fundamental things that you have to do.
Sayonara.
Again, we're not really playing a lot in our rocket ult when we need to. As I said, we need to be very, very aggressive when we have a healer ult going on, and make sure to play within the ult to make sure we are providing some sort of pressure and impact on the game. Here we die, overextension, right? Our tanks were nowhere there, way, way too overextended. We need to play where our tank is
Item
and make
step
plays
aside.
off our tanks based on their positioning.
Only 60 seconds left. Better stop that vehicle.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at the ult here.
I don't give up so easily. Farewell.
Again, cooldowns. Why was this ult bad? Let's take a look. First thing is first. We had Adam Soulbound, right? We are not baiting cooldowns. This goes back to our rules of making a good DPS ult, right? They had Adam Soulbound, right? Which completely negated our ult. And not only that, they had Sue pushing. Need to be very, very aware of cooldowns when you're DPS ulting.
Down to 30 seconds.
By the eye of Agamotto!
There we lose the fight. We're forgetting a lot about this BP. We need to be very, very aware and contest him on his angles before he gets to do something. We actually die here
They
as
hit
well.
a checkpoint.
Right?
Now
We did
might
not
be a
reset
good time
fast
to
enough.
stop them. Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
I have reawakened.
Okay, our supports are still dead, right? So we do not want to be playing aggressive at all. And actually, this team should be resetting right now to avoid staggers.
Awaken the rage of battle!
Step aside. What a difference.
It's now
Okay.
or never. Stop them.
Farewell.
Tandy needs help.
Who don't we see? We don't see BP, right? Where is BP?
My guard is down. This will confuse them.
Do we have our support ult? Again, when we have support ults, I want you to be aggressive and play within the support ult, making sure you are actually putting some sort of pressure instead of staying here, barely, just like kind of like doing barely any damage because you're kind of too far, right, as Psylocke. So you want to be in your healer ult here, putting constant pressure. This is great. The tanks are pushing. We can use this angle. Correct. Nice.
Tremble before blast!
Okay, we're overstaying here.
Sayonara. The enemy has a
And what is happening, actually? Let's think about it. We did not see BP, right? Where is BP currently? Right there. On his angle, right? And he even got to use his ult. This is what I mean when I say if you don't see them, chances are they're on their angle and you want to be there to contest them, right? I'm going to stop this video here because I don't want you guys, to get overloaded with info. I will be making more videos. If you guys can, shoot me a couple replays, I'll try and make more videos on DPS and just the overall fundamentals to climbing as a DPS. But during this game, there were 3 main mistakes, right? We weren't playing in our healer ults aggressively within the ult. Second of all, our ults, most of them were good, but some of them we did not account for cooldowns, therefore they were useless, like the Adam Soulbound. And third is not resetting, right? Not resetting when we're down 2 and not chasing them when they're down 2. You can also add one more, which would be playing off of our tank's positioning. We do not want to be in a position where we're ahead of our tanks, even on an off angle, because that kind of makes us isolated and most likely not in our healer's line of sight, which would most likely lead to our death, right? And the most important thing is to play with cover and avoid deaths, right? This is the goal. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a like and comment what you want to see next. And I will see you guys later. I do have coaching on Fiverr. If you guys want to take a look at the description, I will be leaving my link over there. And I'll help you guys actually improve in this game and help you on your climbing journey to become a better DPS. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great night. Take care.